Hello? Oh, hey. Whatever. Jeff's like, what did he just do? You should see his face. It's actually kind of comical. You know what? We're going to be right back. Whatever. We're here. It's Tuesday at 6 p.m. and I'm pushing buttons because we don't know what we're doing.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charley from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
So we started looking for a way to save money on fuel. And we were turned on to the ES Advantage program for fuel first. So we got a hold of Jeff Reese and he ran us through that program. And man, we were starting to save. And then we started talking to them. Well, we saw their website and we said, Jeff, what's this thing about insurance and accounting and
Right.
You lease trucks? What?
Right. And that's the thing is we only knew it as a fuel card. And when we started digging deeper, I mean, we ended up getting hooked up with an insurance provider, Seabright Agency, and they created an entire insurance program just for us and our people. And from that, we've learned that, you know, now there's even more potential. There's a greater opportunity, and it's completely opened up our eyes and broadened our vision into what it is we're trying to do, which is help people do better. Wrapped with the ES community just makes that process so much easier.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
Hey, how's it going, Jeff?
Hey,
What are we talking about today?
is this Spaceballs to Charlie?
I told her to take over for me, and I don't know. She just got all like kind of shy and stuff. And she's not like that. She's not a little shy person. At least not around me. I don't know. Apparently a little, she said. I love you. People were probably like, who the hell? I should have changed like the name tag and everything real quick. Oh, good Lord. I called her in she was playing like WoW or something. I'm like, come here. She's like, what? I'm like, come take over my show for a minute. She's like, what? Mad good. Whatever. Hey, man, you're at home. That's good. I'm at home. That's better. Just saying.
Okay.
Chris was first. Craig was second. I lost track after that. Undertaker third. Tim fourth. Hi, everybody. Hi, Ida. Other people. Oh my gosh. Jeff, what the heck are we doing today, man?
I don't know. You were on Narc last week.
That was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know if other people enjoyed it, but I thought it was fun. Yeah. We were doing math and stuff, and you know how people love to do math, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
We were explaining how matching my numbers up from here at my carrier at Swift versus had I operated the same way over at Hirschbach as that dude Jason Pote was saying that it's like the best lease and contract ever and all that other stuff, would have cost me over $140,000 or $130,000 more to operate there than it did to operate here. And I would have spent, I know, and $50,000 more in fuel there than what I do now, based on their 99-cent fuel guarantee price, which I still think was crazy. I think people just see 98-cent fuel. Oh, that's awesome. It's not $4. It's not $3, but they don't understand fuel surcharge or anything like that.
Right.
It's weird, man.
I mean, my cost per mile for my truck, even with the custom Western Star being a non-aerodynamic truck compared
Man, you
to,
got that in early.
I got to get it where I can get it. It's a little less aerodynamic. I've got tall rubber instead of low pro. All sorts of fuel mileage issues with this truck, right? So I'm getting in the mid to upper sevens on a good day. That's if I don't. That's if my APU is working. I'm not idling all night to stay alive.
Right.
So I'm at 49 cents a mile fuel cost.
Right.
My fuel surcharge this week is 41 cents.
It's only 8 plus.
So that's 8 cents per mile. And I'm getting let's just call it 7.5, right?
Right.
7.5 miles per gallon. Let's just do some math here. This might take me a second because I've got alerts on my freaking phone.
Dude, I haven't cleared out my notifications on my phone in like a week or more.
So 8 miles per gallon, right? Times 0.08. I'm paying 64 cents a gallon for fuel out of pocket.
Right.
Versus their 99 cents.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, believe it or not.
Dude, that's a lot. Wait. It got even deeper than that, because on my 3-year deal, my 37-month comparison from me to them, my current contract, I was paid $1,300 plus to pump fuel into my truck over those 37 months.
Right.
I spent like $71,000 in fuel up front and made $72,000 in fuel surcharge.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it's the best thing ever." And I'm like, "I don't know, man. This is why math is so damn important."
Yeah. Yeah. Now there's obviously some unknowns. We can look at a contract and try and compare apples to apples as much as we can.
Right.
But one of the things that I found fascinating about Hirschbach's contract, as you were going over it with me, Charlie, is how many mileage bands they have.
Oh my God. Right.
So if you're in that sweet spot of hauling 500-mile freight every single day, you're able to do that every single day, that's something to discuss because it's a higher rate. And then the fuel surcharge or your 99-cent whatever.
Right.
But, Swift has how many? Four bands? Something like that? 4 or 5?
5, I think.
And, the sweet spot at Swift is kind of that 500 to 600 mile range as well. But some of these carriers have, I've seen contracts that have a dozen mileage bands.
Right.
And so you try and figure out, especially if you're on a load board situation, right? Trying to pick those loads that are in that sweet spot, figure out what your sweet spot is to where you're maximizing your time and your money. Because the problem with those really low mileage bands, like sub 200, okay, it might pay $250 a mile.
Right.
But it's a live load, drive 200 miles, and then a live unload the next morning.
Right.
How does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
You got to figure out what is your total time worth, right?
Yeah. If you can knock out a couple of those in a day, then all right, far out, let's do it.
I mean, you look at I was just talking to Tony Dennis about fuel hauling, and they have an interesting way of paying. They tend to pay the radius that you're away from the depot, right? So within 50 miles pays this much, within 100 miles pays this much, flat rate, 100, 150, 200 miles.
Right.
You don't go much further beyond that 200-300 mile mark from what I was discussing with Tony. But he has a guy that he starts at 4 a.m. and he's back home at by 4 in the afternoon every single day. He works Monday through Friday most of the time. Every once in a while, he's got to pick up a Saturday. He never works Sunday. So he's got a fairly like human schedule, you know, but he tries to stay in that 50-mile band because he can do 5-6 of those a day.
Right.
Right. And it pencils out for him. And he's, you know, he actually is, this is the guy that bought Tony's fleet.
Yeah.
And he was able to get in the positive on that note within, I think he said 18 months to it.
Right.
Or so he had paid off the note for that fleet.
That's crazy, right?
So running 100% positive on the books.
Yep.
Within 18 months. And that's just by maximizing his trucks, his time, and understanding the contract in those mileage bands.
Right. What's up, Charley?
OTR mileage bands are different because of the time involved in loading and unloading.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting to think about. You know, what mileage band are you comfortable running? You know, everybody wants those. I don't take anything less than 800 miles.
Right.
Okay. I mean, if there's a reason for that, if you could tell me the actual business reason for that,
Right.
I'm all in with it. Tell me why is that your line? Why is 800 miles your line? Why
My
is
argument. Here's my argument. I run a team.
Mm-hmm.
It makes perfect sense unless we can run 600 miles, do the drop, pick up another one, and have the next person run the shift. Makes no sense to run less than those, 1,000-mile trips, right?
Right.
For a solo, I don't know.
Well, you look at an 800-mile load as a solo. You're looking at 400 miles a day, bro.
Right.
You know, by the time you get your even on a drop and hook on both ends,
Right.
you're looking at time to drop, trying to find an empty trailer, right?
Yep.
All that stuff. You're really looking at a 400-mile per day operation.
Right.
Whereas you could do 500 miles a day, right? Drop and hook on both ends and go right into that next 500 miler and still make that by the next day.
Right.
So you're picking up 100 miles a day, that's 600 miles a week. That's good money.
Right.
So,
Yeah. It's like on this Target stuff that I do, I pull up my mileage at the end of the day and I feel like I've accomplished so much, right? Because I did 3 store deliveries, picked up a back haul, and drove all the way back to Lake City. And realized I only drove 450 miles for my entire, 13, 14-hour shift. I'm like, man. But for me, the accessorial pay makes up for it. The 3 stores, bless you, the 3 stores. Oh, I like that the camera followed you on the sneeze. That was awesome. But the accessorial pay, the stop pay, and all that makes up for that shorter mileage stuff.
right.
And I'm on a shorter mileage band because I'm under that 800 mark on that load. Because I think the total round was like 700 and something like that.
Right. So you're picking up a couple pennies there.
Yeah, and that adds up over time. Like the one I'm specifically talking about. I actually have it up. Here it is. Where to go? That was 779. 779 loaded miles. Is that right? I gotta look at the trip numbers. No, the last one I did was the one I was talking about. It was 706 miles.
Okay.
So, they still haven't fixed the stupid mileage thing on the portal. That's great. By the way, any of you who are on the Swift stuff, you're a Swift contractor, don't make any changes to the column settings in the portal on your settlements because it screws things up. And now I don't know, like there's no list that shows. It used to show how many empty miles you did on each load, how many loaded miles. Those 2 columns are gone from my thing and they can't figure out why.
Oh, I thought that was supposed to be one of Brett's big, hey, you can do this. Isn't it great?
Yeah, no. And so I was actually talking to Brett last week about it. I'm like, hey, man, this thing happened to me. He's like, I don't know. It looks good to me. And he went in and changed the columns and had the same problem happen to him. He's like, I'll get that over to those guys. It'll probably take 1 week to fix it.
Hey, good response though.
Right? 7547. Let's see, 75. Where is it? There it is. Scrolly. No, scrolly. 7547. Yeah, I made $140 in accessorial pay on that one. Wait, $175 in accessorial pay. The mileage pay should have been $1.19 up front, and then 7547. The fuel surcharge was 0.4070 for another $287.34 on that load, and that was mine and Rosie's 24-hour return.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, the numbers are important. I mean, let's be real. Yeah, I don't know. Nobody wants to look at the numbers and figure out why they want to do this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They see those upfront numbers like, you know, Pote does. And well, let's be real. He's trying to get referrals. He wants to make money off referrals and get them to pay him TikTok money and all this other stuff, because there's actually a thing where they do that. Apparently, you can be a social media influencer and they pay you if you have enough clicks and views and stuff like that, which whatever. I just think it leads to disingenuous expectations or presentations of what these companies offer. Until someone like you or me or, you know, some other people go out there and say, hey, let me see your contract. Let me actually compare apples to apples. And I actually put a response on one of his videos saying, hey, man, can you send me a copy of your contract? Feel free to redact whatever you want to redact, but let me read the contract. So that I had the newest contract available, right? And yeah, of course, no response, right? I'm just saying. And I think that says something all by itself. So whatever.
Well, yeah, you and I have had people go as far as to send us their contract and then ghost us after we had a chance to read through it and said, okay, we're ready to discuss it.
Right.
So,
or worse, we do discuss it with them and they're like, you guys are liars.
Yeah.
You're bad people. Because math.
Well, people don't like to, I don't want to use the term wrong, but people don't like to be wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's baffling to me, man. It really is. I don't get it at all, honestly. It just does weird things in my brain.
I haven't seen an ATS contract, Undertaker. Have you, Charlie?
Nope. Nobody's giving me one of those. Yeah, shop fees. Ask him to send an actual settlement with itemized deductions. He won't. You're going to see past the smoke and mirrors. Exactly.
It's been a long time, but Charlie and I, you know, when we first started the show, we used to post our real-time settlements up right here on the show.
It's a pain in the butt to do, man, you know?
It is. And, you know, we've done it enough times to where just ask us and we'll run the numbers for you because we know what they are.
Right. Like I actually have a settlement up on my screen right now. It's the pending. I don't know. Looks all right. I still owe $50.83 for fuel tax on my old truck, on my 23. Apparently, you're still working through fuel tax stuff.
Oh yeah, because it's quarterly.
Yeah.
Posted quarterly.
So whatever. I already owe 100 and what was it on this one? Where'd it go? I lost it. Fuel tax, $165.81 so far on this one.
Yeah. But you're fueling correctly though, so
yeah. Oh, dude, I was getting under $3 fuel this week.
Were you?
Yep. Speedway, bro. Some brand new Speedways were fantastic this week.
Okay.
So, you know, and they're along my route. I'm not moving out of my route still. So, yeah, man, I'm like, whatever. Yeah, not a bad looking settlement so far, to be honest. I'm waiting to see what it looks like when it finally settles completely, but it might be the one that finally puts me back where I want to be after my 3 weeks off. Man, that 3 weeks killed me, honest to God. Because nothing stops coming in as far as
Right.
bills. Hey, nothing stops coming in that needs to go out.
That's
Maybe
right.
that's the way to say it. And I had nothing coming in to stay in to help the go out. I'm confusing myself. Shop bees, you shut up. I don't know why. Just felt like it. What's up, Dennis? TK? Chris, I'm always wrong. Get used to it. You get used to it. Yep, that's true. Not really. I like Chris is fun. Chris is like clay.
Yeah.
He can come in with a thought that is this big, and then you can mold it and make it right. And he's like, "Oh, that's awesome." Oh, stop it, Choppies. I can't talk to you like that on here. Yeah, Mike says most of the QTs out here in Texas are $2.99 right now. Yeah, they're like $3.29 out here right now along my routes. In that range, bouncing between $3.29, $3.39, $3.49, $3.59. Saw $3.69 up towards Atlanta, and speedways are down in that $2.99 range. So yeah, I'm digging it. I'll just keep bouncing back and forth. So Rosie's card, her fuel card still won't work at Speedway without going in.
Oh, really?
Yep, mine works out at the pump just fine. So I need to get her an updated fuel card apparently. Because when she goes in, they do weird things. Like her Speedway stop this week. It was a train wreck. They didn't know how to do it. They're like lost. I don't even know if it went through right yet. It's just whatever. We'll see. Maybe I got a free fuel up this week. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'll get fixed about the time you don't have any money coming in.
Right. It'll be on a negative week, right? And they'll double charge me. That would be
Remember when they didn't charge us for fuel for like 3 weeks that one time?
Dude.
And people were all up in arms. What is this BS? And we're like,
right.
And we're looking at our settlements. We're looking at other people's settlements to try and figure it out. We're like, oh, we just didn't get charged for fuel for like 3 weeks.
And then those people,
people are like, I don't see how that's a me problem. That seems like a them problem. Are you kidding me?
Right. You used the fuel, bro.
Yeah.
Swift isn't paying me any discounts, shop fees. Swift gives a 5-cent rebate, which is garbage. And I mean, it looks better than zero, but I mean, considering what I think they could do, or what I think they should do, are big difference. So I shop for fuel where I want to buy fuel, and I look for the best price. If I go to Love's, Pilot, Flying J, TA, or Petro, I get that 5-cent rebate after I pay for fuel. It's credited back to me as a rebate, not a discount. Important wording there as well. But all those chains along my route are $3.79, $3.69, $4, and I'm getting it at $2.99 at Speedway. So I don't know. Seems like the good move to me.
Yep.
Ida says she remembered that fuel card thing. She couldn't stand listening to all the contractors cry. That was funny though. Because I mean it sucked if you weren't getting ready for it to hit. And we're like, oh man, that's gonna come back and bite us. We might want to leave a little in there.
Real, Charlie, when you average $1,500 to $2,000 a week, and you just got a $3,500 settlement, don't you
might
think
want to look at
in your mind would have clicked that something's not right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tim Ransom. Yeah, they did good on that. At least Swift didn't make us pay what we owed on insurance when they didn't take the right amount out a few years back.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a them thing, and they knew it. So I think they did the right thing on that one.
Right.
Because if you got Swift insurance, you just assume that it's right? Because why wouldn't it be?
Right. Back in the day when we had that free fuel on Mondays, I did care they charged me, but it was that they charged me all in one paycheck. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They were getting their money. Oh God, shoppies. Don't even get me started on that one. That was the other thing Pote was talking about, was his 10-cent per mile
Maintenance.
Yeah, it's a mandatory 10 cents a mile. Match that up with what I ran for miles and what my maintenance cost was for the 37 months. My maintenance cost for the entire 37 months was like $13,500.
Mm-hmm.
And his 10 cents a mile would have cost him like 40 grand.
Yep.
For the same service.
And that's where we get into like Swift's MRP program.
Right.
Guys, it's great. The truck's under warranty for the time I've got it, this, that, and the other thing. But
right.
It's costing you 8 cents a mile. You never see that money back. I mean, and it did get a little worse this year, Charlie. I don't know if I went over it with you, but there's no more 100% covered anything on those MRP trucks. It's all
right.
80-20 split, which, that's not terrible, but it's not what it was. Because we used to say the best thing that could happen on an MRP is to drive it for like 3.5 years and have the motor blow. and then pay off the MRP at the end because you got a brand new truck.
Right. I wouldn't even know. Craig asked, isn't he in a rental right now? I don't even know. You know what? You could just say yes, because that's kind of the way I look at my truck. Because I don't intend to purchase it. I don't. I mean, I've been pretty clear about that lately on these last two trucks. I don't want to. I'm too old.
Getting too old.
Yeah.
We're getting too old for it to actually work.
And these motors and things are too fancy for me to work on anymore by myself, it seems like. And most of the problems seem to be computer related, and I just don't want to do it. What's up, DJ? But it's just, I just don't want to. So I have no problem looking at it and viewing it as a rental, lease, rental, same thing. If you ask me, it's just
well, in the contract, it says rental of the truck,
right? It says rental fee or something like that. Total rent due, right? They use those words. So yeah, I don't know, man. It seems crazy to me. Oh, is that what that number was? So I was looking. So Pote had put up some numbers on his screen a couple days ago. And I couldn't figure out why it was showing that he actually year to date was owing them like $13,000, and the next settlement showed like 10,000 or 11,000, something like that he still owed. And I was like, what the heck is that? Mm-hmm. So apparently it's from the last lease he walked away from. That's great. Oh man, get him, dogs, get him. I love watching Jeff's face when stuff like that happens. He starts eyeballing people and the dogs and whatever person made it happen.
Yeah. I mean, full disclosure, I owe Swift $9,500 from the lease I walked away from.
Right.
So if I were to go back there, I would owe them that money.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just, there's no such thing as a true walk away lease, guys. Now,
no matter what
carriers, they don't typically go after you like after you.
Right. They can.
They could legally. They could come after me for that $9,500 and put a lien on my house, all that stuff. They could do that, but they typically don't. But to say it's a walkaway lease would mean I could go back to Swift without owing them that $9,500. Right.
Right.
That's just not the case. If you owe them money, you owe them money. And, when you go back, you got to pay it. So
Jeff silently judges the noisemakers.
yes.
What did they call you about today, TK? Swift said Swift called him today. I bet they're trying to get him to come back.
Yeah. Get one of those new Vovos, man.
Right? Hey, you want to talk about your possible thought plan? Speaking of Volvos?
If I was to go back to Swift, I really want one of those Vovos. And if Michelle can't get me one, I thought about, hey, why don't I just go back as a company driver with the caveat of, hey, West Valley City, that's just down the street from me. I see you've got 5 Volvos sitting there, company trucks. Give me one of those and I'll come back. And then in 6 months, I can FX it. That might be a way to get one of the trucks that I actually want. Because Charlie, that's always kind of been a sticky point for me with these lease purchase programs.
Right.
They're so expensive. Once again, folks, leasing a truck is not the best way to get a truck. We fully recognize that. And y'all know why. It's one of the most expensive ways to get a piece of equipment. It really is. But to have a company with the buying power of Swift say, oh, well, we don't have any Volvos available for you.
Right.
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
You could have this 2-year-old Freightliner, though. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
19 guys had before you?
Yeah, 19 guys that failed had it before you, so they probably didn't do the maintenance on it.
Hey, bro, it's got leather seats. Don't worry about it.
That's right. So your back can stick to the seat in summertime.
Oh my God, that's killing me in this new truck, man. I really got to get out there and find some seat covers.
You haven't gotten seat covers yet?
No, I don't want to order any without knowing they're going to be right.
Well,
I think I need to go through Freightliner directly.
they have them at the dealerships if you can get to a dealership. Of course, you pay a premium for everything at a dealership.
Yeah. Hey, Shoppies, if you're offering the truck, I'll drive it, bro. I'm just saying.
I actually saw a Panther truck that was one of the big super sleepers the other day. So they lease them on. Of course, most of our stuff is fairly light. Especially if you're doing true expedited, you're doing the life sciences, they call it.
Right.
Drug trafficking. Lighter loads. I don't know about the military stuff though, because they're hauling, like small arms and stuff like that. That's got to get heavy, right?
Yeah, Ida, you're smart, but that required Jeff just vanished. That was awesome. You're smart. Go to the dealer in Lake City. It just takes time out of my day, and it means I actually have to, plan. Whoa, I gotta move this. Crazy things are happening right now. But yeah, I gotta make time and plan to do that, and you know what I mean? It's like I'd have to leave like an hour earlier than I normally would. And that means I'm away from the grandkids and stuff an hour sooner and away from the house. And my brain's like, no, man, don't do it. So I just complain and cry about, the fact that my butt and my back are sticking to the seats through my pants because I'm sweating now. And yeah, whatever. First world problem, Joe. First world problems. Hey, who else got first world problems? You know who does? Everybody. So shut up. It's all good. What did Mike say? I already told my wife my next truck is going to be a Volvo. She's still mad at me over the last Volvo with the bankrupted. Look, you can't knock her for that, though. You know what I mean? Well, you're right, Ida. But Mike, you can't knock her for that. I mean, I get it. I've got a lot of faith in these newer ones happening now, going on now. Hey, welcome back, bro. They seem to be doing okay so far. I mean, it's still early in it, but by the time you're ready, Mike, I mean, we might have some really solid data on those new Volvos. So, and yes, I could come see you before I leave for the day. Before you leave for the day. I know. I'm a terrible friend. What do you want from me? I don't even call people. I know. don't. Whatever. It's nothing new. Y'all get used to it. It's just how I've been. Not a good keeper and toucher. But look, I pick up right where we left off, wherever we last left off, like there was no gap. Shut up, Jeff.
I got nothing, man.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Yeah. Ooh, I got some good pairs the
I
other
don't
day.
have my glasses on, so if I squint, I can see.
That's fantastic.
Well, it's weird because when I'm on my big screen at home,
Right.
I can't see with my glasses on until I split it into two screens, and I need my glasses to see. Right? So.
How's the bag? Undertaker says. So we picked up ours. I haven't taken them out of the plastic. Look, it's not my bag, pun intended. I'm not into like the big duffel bags. I do know a couple people that have said that they absolutely love them so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's cool. Rosie will probably dig it, you know. Oh, Trucker Tim, Charlie, what happened with that person that ended up hitting you at the dock the other week? Nothing, man. I didn't push anything. I didn't report anything. You know, we just high-five mirrors. Got a tiny little scratch on the outside of my mirror. Nothing worth involving anybody in, to be honest. No point in putting a ding on his record over something so trivial. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, not worth it. And there was nothing to repair, man. It literally was a scratch on the mirror cover. I thought it was going to be bad when I woke up from the view, but it was nothing.
Yeah.
Mike Anderson, I'm stuck in this knockoff Lego KW for another 19 months plus the wait time for a new truck, right? That is such a good description.
That bad of a wait time, though.
No, not with proper planning ahead of time.
End of lease should be starting about 6 months before the end of lease.
Yeah, you just got to get on them, Mike. Don't wait for them to contact you. Just start bugging the hell out of them when you think you want to start working on that. And Mike, if you've got 19 months, I'm just saying you might want to reach out to somebody if you were of that inclination, and they just might let you out a year early, bro. Just saying. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Figuring out how many miles is on the truck, if it's that sweet spot where they can MRP it, especially.
Or sell it.
So if you're coming up on about 400,000 miles, they want to get that thing released under an MRP before it gets above 5, I think.
Yep. That seems to be the move for him on that. Yeah, Chris said decent range bag. I've had a couple people tell me that. Exactly that description of it. That and a good fishing bag or a tool bag, because they fit certain size boxes in there. Yeah. Yeah. So even up to that 500,000 range, Mike, I mean, you honestly might want to reach out to them and say, hey, any chance we can make that happen so I don't wear this thing out before the end of it and you guys have, you know, a crap heap to sell? You'd be surprised how open they are to that. It really depends on how many they have out there right now and things like that. I mean, that's how I got mine. They had some excess trucks and they're like, hey, you still want to do that? I'm like, heck yeah. So I got out a year early. Well, 11 months early, technically.
Right.
But I was also at the mercy of what they had on hand. They also knew that I was only going to take a freight line. I don't care what color it was, but luckily I got to pick between, I think it was white and silver or blue. I can't remember, but Rosie picked silver. And we like that silver, actually.
Yeah, it's a good color.
But yeah, Mike, reach out to him. Ask him, man. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask that question like every other month, to be honest, because they could absolutely change their answer.
Yeah, the worst they can do is say no.
I mean, they were going to swap me out last September, and things just didn't pan out, and I ended up having to wait, almost another year. But then it happened. So, and that would have been at 2 years, just because I was busting nuts. Oh, nice. Mike said he should be at 4 million by February, and he was going to ask about it at the 3 and 4 million mile get together.
Nice.
That's a lot of miles, man. I feel like I'm never going to hit 2 officially by their numbers. I don't know. I don't run enough miles to worry about, to be honest. Tell me about your tires. Which tires? Who you asking? Excuse me.
Just remember, Charlie, this is a family show.
Right? Got to keep it clean, yo. Dude, that dog that just popped up on your lap sure makes some weird noises.
Yeah.
Did you see Ismail earlier popped on and said, I missed the babies?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. They're very yappy.
Yeah. My tires. Bridgestone M713s and the Michelin Z Plus on the steers. Love them. Good mix. I'm happy so far. Got the ugly black wheel covers. I decided I want to find some really shiny ones, but they cost a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Blind tight. Dude, you know what's funny? So the cost to just buy the 4 shiny covers is more than the entire install kit with the 4 shiny covers.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's weird. So the cheaper way to do it is buy the install kit with the shiny covers, and then you got an extra set of install stuff, when some happy person smacks your rim like they like to do. Or you cut a curb short and scrape a curb. Because it happens, whatever.
Yeah. It happens to some people more than others.
Right? Ida, Jeff's puppy looks like a Jim Henson Muppet. Watch Jeff's hands when the dog pops up. Just saying. Chrome spray paint. Oh, that would be funny. Oh, calm down, James. The cat's not for you. We know how you people act. Is that wrong? I don't know. That was funny. It was only like $450 for my shiny wheel cover. Dude, so I went and I looked on their site for it, and it was stupid.
Huh.
Wonder if you can vinyl wrap covers in chrome. I don't know, because they have to be smooth, like really smooth for a wrap to hold, is my understanding. Like that's why they don't want to wrap old trucks with bad paint, because it doesn't stick well.
Right.
I don't know. Brian said I had to buy a new wheel cover. The rivets all busted off at once, and I didn't have a rivet gun. Look, that's actually something I have. Keep it on the truck. Yeah. And I annoy some of the shop people because sometimes I will rivet trailer lights back in place, and they're like, bro, you know what a pain that is for me to have to drill that out to do another light change? And I'm like, you know what a pain it is for me to sit on the side of the road and wait for 5 hours for you to come change a light? No, thank you. But, you know, looks like the dog from Fraggle Rock.
That's accurate.
Right. Oh, my God. Yeah, I don't think you can wrap them. I'm going to go out on that limb. Someone should prove me wrong, because that might be a cool way to do it. Sorry, I had to get rid of that can. Look, Blindsight. That's exactly where I got it too. Harbor Freight, bro, and a box, 2 boxes of many sizes of rivets. Yeah, I'm just saying. Quick little squeaky squeaky pop. Yeah, it's holding. You know, hey, you can keep little strips of flexible like metal, like Band-Aid size, and those are good for like you could rivet them onto like a broken fender
Mhm.
to hold it in place and get you down the road so it's not wobbling and bouncing off and then flies off and hits people. I've seen that as a good way to fix things. I've seen people use zip ties for that too, like they stitched them up.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's actually kind of comical, and at the same time, you're like, genius, bro. Problem is, they keep it running like that for another 200,000 miles, and you're like, maybe that's too much. I don't know.
Well, you know that trailer that I had the problem with the arrow wing on.
Right.
I ended up with that same trailer again.
That's funny. It's probably waiting for you there the whole time.
Probably.
Sounds like a fun tool, kind of like a sawzall. Dude, again, another tool you got to have. I'm just saying, cut through anything whenever. Just need the right blades for the right stuff, you know?
Yep.
Gosh. There are some really good generic tools that like you can just use so many different ways. It's crazy. Should always have a good, not a good even, just a decent drill and a nice set of drill bits.
Yep.
Various sizes. Make sure, and if you're going to get a rivet gun, make sure you have drill bits that fit your rivet sizes. Just saying. That might have been a thing once or twice for me.
Yeah.
Dude, we're all over the place with subjects right now. That's hilarious. I like it. But yeah, Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight is your friend. I'm just saying. Anything in the news today, Jeff? Trucking?
I don't know. We were talking about that Uber Freight thing.
That was odd.
So apparently, an executive from Tesla is now in charge of Uber Freight. He's the CEO of Uber Freight. And like magic, guess what? If you're willing to contract solely with Uber Freight, you can get one of the new Tesla trucks at a discount.
Right?
Like magic.
It
just happened out of thin air.
But you got to sign a contract for the entire duration.
Right. And the article I read didn't say how long the contract was for. And I even went and looked at Uber Freight to find out more information about them because it kind of seems suspicious to me, the whole Uber Freight thing. And I had to get AI on it to do some research.
Right.
And found out what the insurance requirements are. They want $1 million in auto liability and what did I say, 100,000 in cargo?
Yeah.
To run Uber Freight. So that auto liability policy, that's the one. That's the $20,000 plus a year policy right there.
Right, especially for a new authority.
Yep.
Could be 35 or more.
Yep.
It's
enough to where I was asking Tony about it yesterday when I was talking to him.
Right.
We started talking about different business models and, getting our own authority and maybe building a fleet, stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, auto liability could be a lot. I'm like, well, like how much? He's like, a lot. I couldn't nail him down on what would it cost us to get a brand new auto liability policy on a brand new MC number.
For real.
It's almost like, hey man, I want to stay your friend.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to scare you guys away from me. Jeez.
But yeah, that auto liability, that's the balance. That's mostly what you're paying for when you're getting your MC number.
Right.
He said cargo is insanely cheap. It's like $500.
Really?
Yeah, the cargo is not the problem. It's that auto liability policy that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the barrier to entry for most people.
It seems legit. Everybody wants to sue you.
Not to stir the pot even more than it already is in our society right now at this very given moment. How are these Sikhs and these guys coming over here, getting an authority and affording $40,000 for auto liability that first year? That's
Right.
a lot of money. Now, I know that a lot of the immigrants, they have family ties, right? There's family money involved. But that's something it's a curiosity to me.
Right.
If I can't crap $40,000 to get my own authority, how are these guys doing it? What are they
Right.
doing? It's one of those things where you kind of want to find out, how are they doing it? Why am I not able to do it? Right. So, and obviously, it's not $40,000 up front. There's a deposit involved, and then it's so much a month. But it's a lot of money.
That rates like a 16-year-old boy in a Ferrari, Chris said.
Yeah. Well, let's say it's $30,000 a year. That's $576 a week. That's what your expense is per week on that policy. That's your lease payment, Charlie, isn't it?
Right.
$100 less than your lease on that truck. So,
Yeah.
So you're basically, it's like having two truck payments.
There's a couple of thoughts out there. Tim's talking about small business grants from the government. Ida said there has to be some kind of government subsidy. DJ's like their temple loans them the money. I mean, I could see all that being valid, to be honest.
It's like Tony Robbins says, if where there's a will, there's a way. You'll find the money.
Right.
If it's what you really want to do, I guess. So
I just don't want to beg, borrow, and steal.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, that's been a discussion between Charlie, us, and me and our coach. Affording things that we need to do, and the begging and the stealing. That's not something we're willing to do. Borrow, maybe. Not really big on borrowing either, but
right.
Not stealing, that's for dang sure.
Yeah, for real.
It's like the old animal. First thing you do is you call your mom and dad.
Right. Yeah, legit, right there. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. It's a trip. Let's take the break early. Jeff will slip out of here and we'll come right back.
Okay.
We'll do this thing. We'll be right back. We'll see you guys on the other side. Whoop, whoop. You're either running your business like an owner or like an employee. And if you're stuck in that employee mindset, you're leaving money on the table. Company drivers wait for direction. Business owners create opportunities. Company drivers chase miles and just drive. Business owners chase profits and know their numbers. Want to run a real business? Start tracking your numbers. Know your cost per mile and start saying no to bad loads. Drop I run a business in the comments if you're done thinking like an employee. If you want to take this mindset shift further, join the Road Warrior Entrepreneurs community at www.rwedrive.com, where we have profit boosting strategies, coaching calls, and real road warriors winning together. And we're kind of back, I think.
Yeah. Another thing we were talking about earlier is family money, rich uncle. Okay. Yeah. That could be it as well.
Oof.
Wait, what? Mike Henderson says family money, rich uncle pays for it, then ships in a bunch of his family. He had a student once that came to work at Swift after his uncle cheated him out of money. That sucks.
That sucks.
We were talking about another thing that's kind of industry news. Class 8 truck and trailer orders by month is the article that I was reading through. And for those of you that don't think that the tariffs aren't in full effect, they are. For good or bad, I mean, it just is what it is. Nothing we can control. But tariffs are increasing trailer costs by 16 and 28% is what they're saying. So I don't know if that will affect the trucks, because like Freightliner, they assemble here in the United States, and in Mexico. So they might ramp up their United States operation because of the tariffs.
Right.
Keep in mind, though, that Freightliner, Great Dane, Volvo, they don't pay these tariffs, guys. We do.
Right.
You know, there was a whole South Park episode on that about a week. Was it the last one or the one before that? I don't pay the tariffs. You do. You know,
Exactly.
and it was something stupid, some little Japanese toy that the kids are buying, and all of a sudden the price quadrupled, and it's the tariffs. It's the tariffs.
Yeah.
You know, and people need to understand that. You know, the tariffs are fronted by the companies that are importing the goods, but it just becomes part of the price tag. That's the way they work. So do your own research on that. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, the effect that it's having on our industry is brand new trailing equipment up 16 to 28%, depending on where they're coming from. So
Right.
that's interesting.
I like Shopke's suggestion here. If you guys want to start your own authority, just watch the Coach and Stewie show. Ha! It's exactly
Okay.
what not to do. God, that was a train wreck.
So if we want to learn what not to do, we watch their show, right?
Right. That's the better way to say it. Mike
Yeah.
said, it doesn't really matter if they build in America. Most of the parts come from China. You know, I mean, look, one way or the other.
Yeah. We avoid a little bit of tax, though, by assembling the stuff here. We're one of the only countries that doesn't have a VAT tax, Charlie. You know that?
Yeah.
And what VAT tax is value added tax. So let's say you're a logger and you go out and you chop a tree down. You owe a tax because you added value to that wood. And then you sell that to the mill, who is then taxed on making it into boards because that added value to that item.
Right.
And then if it goes into a piece of furniture, the furniture maker is taxed because he added value to that wood. It's a crazy tax, that VAT tax.
You think that ever comes out being more taxed than the actual real cost of the item would have been?
I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about the calculations. I just know how it works.
No.
But that's an interesting question.
Oh, I pulled up an interesting question. Y'all remember that? Write that down. Save that on your calendar. It happened today. It was 6:58 p.m., 18:58 for you smart people.
Man, those Tesla trucks just look ugly, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm all into futuristic and all that stuff. You know, the new Volvo that I like so much is kind of futuristic.
Right.
But these Volvo trucks.
You mean the Tesla truck?
Yeah, the Tesla trucks. They just don't look good to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're talking about the big truck, right?
Yeah.
Because it goes without saying the Cybertruck is garbage.
Don't even get me started on the Cybertruck, okay? The bulletproof truck. But I'm looking at that article again, and it says Uber Freight and Tesla have joined forces to introduce a dedicated EV fleet accelerator program.
Right.
That offers subsidies to fleets to buy Tesla semi-trucks, according to a press release. Participating carriers are required to enter a contract with Uber Freight, where they must dedicate their Tesla semis and associate drivers exclusively to Uber Freight for the length of the contract. The program aims to address the price gap that exists between electric trucks and traditional diesel trucks. My guess is, and you guys know that we don't use this term lightly, Uber's got to be cheap freight, like legitimately cheap freight.
Right. Anybody out there pulling Uber Freight, let us know.
Yeah, because I tried to find out information after I read this article today. I tried to find out more information about Uber Freight, and like I said, I had to turn to AI to do some research for me and pull from different information sources just to get what I did. And I still don't do things like, what do their rates look like? What kind of volume are they doing? You know, their website is basically, hey, if you're interested, click here and sign up.
Mm-hmm.
No, not like Landstar, because, you know, Landstar, you sign up for their recruiting packet, and they will send you the load board for that day for your zip code.
Right.
within a couple hundred miles. And that's their attempt to get you to come sign on, is they show you what the freight was doing the day that you requested the packet. And it's pages. I was actually impressed by their recruiting packet when I asked for one.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, I heard that about him, that he went to R.E. Garrison. Chris said, Trucker Todd is at R.E. Garrison this week doing lease. He says it's great, best ever, except he said best truck he had was at Swift. He also said that he never made more money at any trucking company than he did at Swift early on. Just saying. Whatever. R.E. Garrison's got a good fuel program. I was comparing them with ES for a while, and they were actually beating ES prices pretty regularly. Other times they'd be neck and neck, and sometimes ES would win, but they've got a decent fuel purchase program over at R.E. Garrison. That I can say for sure. I don't know much else about their lease contracts or anything like that. I know kind of off to the side a couple people that run over there. There's a lady, Tiffany, who's one of the security people at Target. Her husband runs for R.E. Garrison. He seems really happy. So, he's been there for quite some time, and he seems happy and whatever, man. If it works, it works. Great. I don't know. I just, I hear about these people that go from company to company, and I don't know, man. I heard bad things about Todd's last one. So where he was over at, what is it? SRO Logistics, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that was the last company he was with, but I know that he was, touting SRO Logistics as the best thing ever. And then, he's making money, and he's, paying them for a truck, and then apparently couldn't pay for the truck and lost the truck. And I don't know. Then there was something about him abandoning a truck on the side of the road after putting it in a ditch, took an Uber home or something like that. I mean, I don't know how much of this is true, to be honest, because I don't talk to the guy. It's just what I'm hearing, right? So I don't know, man. I mean, look, take it for what it's worth. Beware of who you listen to.
This is kind of interesting, Charlie. Further down in the article, Uber Freight has also taken action to address logistical complexities associated with EV freight transportation.
Oh.
So it is providing data to several companies that do the charging stations to figure out what the best corridor is for them to put their charging stations. So which lanes are best suited to EV.
Right.
That might be interesting. Because, Uber, again, just based on how they treat their car drivers, again, it's a contractor model, just like it is in trucking. A lot of little bait and switches going on in that little niche.
Oh yeah.
So Uber Freight probably has high volume but low compensation, would be my guess. Again, that's without being able to get into their business at all, because they're really kind of tight-lipped about it seems.
Ain't that the truth, shop fees? Sorry, go ahead.
Which is kind of another red flag to me. You talk to like a Swift recruiter or JB Hunt recruiter or Landstar recruiter, any of the big guys,
right?
They'll tell you straight up, look, our guys are doing. I mean, I just talked to Michelle last month about coming back, right? And she was straight up with me. Yeah, we're still looking at 2,000 to 2,500 miles a week on the average right now. So a little lower than I like to see, but they're pretty straightforward with the numbers when you call them. So,
yeah, there's a lot of places out there that are real secretive.
Mm-hmm.
Landstar clearly isn't one of them.
No.
To a degree, you can understand why they are secretive about some of the stuff, right? But then on the other hand, I'm like, why? It's once I sign it, I mean, I'm gonna share, especially someone like me, I'm gonna share stuff. I mean, I get that there's clauses in the contracts that say you can't divulge, blah, blah, blah. But look, we've all done it. It is what it is, whatever. I think that they could gather more, if they were just much more upfront and transparent about what's in their contracts and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You want to be above board and really look like a legit place? Put your contract out there and say, all right, let's go side by side. Offer the comparison. Say, hey, look, we reached out to Schneider and this is their contract.
Yeah, do it progressive.
Right? You know what I mean? I would, even if that carrier was I don't know, for lack of better words, a lesser deal, that would carry a lot of weight with me.
Just the transparency.
Yeah, I like with this Hirschbach contract comparison to Swift, gosh, I mean, comparing to what I've done here versus what I would have done there, and I'm just basing all of that data on what I did at Swift, right? Based on the mileage, with Rosie and I running together, our 3 or 4 days a week, and all that. It's just the contract wording looks great up front.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start doing math, man, the math is math. I mean, you can say it's BS. I mean, I have expected people to, come out and openly say that I'm full of garbage after being on, Narc show and all that, some other people. But the math is the math. So I just think you need to look at everything when you're in business. You need to look at it as business. I missed a bunch of comments. Sorry. So Sean Fairman, Swift's used trucks are much cheaper than open market. That 80/20 repair program is better than third-party warranty when I compare it all. There was a time I agree with that. I'm not so sure right now because they changed some of the 80/20 stuff, and there's been some change there that I'm not fully informed of. I'm hearing it kind of second, third hand type thing. So I can't speak with authority on it. Maybe I'll see if I can get a hold of a brand new MRP.
How old was that one that you and I went through?
I don't remember, man. But they change so often, it seems.
Yeah.
Ido came up with just like with the DEF, if the government really wanted it, they would have the truck stops in compliance in a matter of months. Yeah. Jeff, you can get back into training, Mike said.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm too old and crotchety, man.
Shop fees. If I ever get an electric semi, I'm going to strap a 20 kilowatt straight pipe diesel generator to the back.
Oh, hey, I saw my first Tesla car with one of those things on it the other day. It was bizarre, man.
Really?
It sped by me in one of those 2-lane U.S. highways.
Really?
And I was like, I see the T on the back of the car. And I'm like, what the heck, man? I'd heard that people were doing that, but
right.
Did you see it? Oh, the other thing I saw, did you know that the Volkswagen bus is back? I saw a brand new Volkswagen bus the other day.
They're actually kind of cool looking.
Yeah, they are. I was pretty impressed. It's called the IO Buzz instead of the bus. That's what was on the back of it. Pretty slick looking car, though.
Right. Sean Fairman, you guys don't lie. Been on here years, every single week. That's right. Look, it's not to say we're never wrong.
No, we've been wrong.
Right.
And we've had people prove us wrong.
Yeah. And we're like, oh, man, that's awesome. Thank you. It's funny because we don't like being wrong, but we love to learn. I mean, it's not failure if you get the lesson out of it that you should be getting, right? It's just the way that you go about and you view things, your perspective. I don't know. DJ Bolin, do you think predatory truck leasing act is going to be made into law? So I'm a little mixed on that. I'm not going to lie, because of who's kind of creating all of that nonsense, DJ. The people they have behind it, like that law firm that likes to go out there and sue everybody for $100 million.
Yeah.
For people that signed contracts that said what it was, and they didn't read the contract, and then they cried afterwards and cost, the carrier $100 million, whatever. I get that. I don't know, man. There's too many people on that board that they are out to just kill leasing programs in general.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I don't know, man.
I mean,
less regulation.
As long as the contract is clear, which, most of them are. I mean, the fact is that most people just don't read it. That's the real problem. People don't read the contract, and then they feel like they got taken advantage of. But if you read the contract and you agree to the contract, you go into it with your eyes open, there's no crying.
Right.
You're a grown ass adult.
Exactly.
Right. You made a decision to go in a certain direction in your life and your business. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Get up, dust yourself off, and try something else.
Right.
If the lease, we'll just use Swift because they get lambasted all the time because they're Swift. If the Swift leasing program was so bad, then how come so many people do so well at it? If it was truly predatory, Charley, wouldn't you be going bankrupt?
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding. Is it the best deal out there? No, the best deal out there is to go to Aero Truck Sales, drop $50,000 on a used truck, and run the heck out of that truck until it breaks, and then spend $80,000 on a truck.
Right.
And then drive it until it's the maintenance on it is too much.
Yep.
And then go spend $100,000 on a truck. Within 4 or 5 trucks, you got yourself a brand new truck. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
By far. The problem is that most of us don't adult as well as we think we do.
Right.
So that initial purchase, that $50,000 rig, is out of your price range for whatever reason. So what leasing does is it lowers the bar to entry.
Right.
Now we can talk about how low that bar should be versus what it is. Maybe that's a conversation we can absolutely have.
Sometimes that low bar is a detriment. Trust me.
It is. I mean, we've seen people recently just, I'm going to do so well at this, that, and the other thing. And you offer some advice to them and they don't take it. And then they end up losing their truck. I mean, Charley, the last one, which I don't want to call people out by name, but the last one, we called it 3 months in and he was out.
Yep.
He was done. And he's out there talking about how I'm going to do it different next time. Okay.
Yeah.
You have my phone number. Give me a call.
Yeah.
And we'll go over what happened last time, why you failed, and let's have a better plan this time.
The ones I enjoy are the ones that we actually advise one way, they go the opposite way, and then they come back and yell at us.
Mm-hmm.
Those are comical to me and frustrating at the same time. Chris said, I proved you wrong. You told me to wait, but I didn't. Yeah, you're the
unicorn, bro. You're the unicorn, absolutely.
And you actually did all the things we said you should do if you're going to do it. That's key. Like most people do not. For whatever reason, they come to us for advice. They ask us our opinions. We back it up with real math, and we show real world results, and then they do the opposite and they're pissed off because it went the exact way we said it was going to go if they did that way.
And some of them buy new steer tires every 3 months because they keep hitting curbs, but say they don't keep hitting curbs.
Right? Oh, man. Shoppies, can you show us how to read a contract? There's this guy on YouTube that said the MRP lease was a walkway lease. I remember that time. Yeah, we've actually done shows on how to compare contracts and what to look for. We had a very targeted show about contracts a few months ago. You can find that down there in the live descriptions. Can't remember what that show was called. And Chris Hamilton said, "Yeah, it's the best thing you ever did." And look, Chris is like the poster child for doing things right. Blindsight, exactly. An industry within an industry is not an invalid statement.
Yeah.
Oh, Ida said something. Where'd it go? That was funny. She was cracking on you not being a mentor thing. She said, "Jeff, I've got Brian Laughlin, who's the most cranky human I've ever met, and he still trains. You got this, buddy." Dude, that guy is like, even when he's not cranky, you think he absolutely is. I tell you.
Oh, really?
Me and Rosie giggle when we see him. We're like, is he really mad or is he just neutral today? He's a trip. He can be a crusty old bastard, though. I'm just saying. Yeah, TK's one. I should have waited, but I didn't. I stayed with it, and I'm okay at another company. Long, steep hill to get to that, though, TK. Am I right? Just saying. There was a lot of tough times to get you where you are, and a lot of stubbornness on your part. I can say that because we're like brothers and stuff. So, yeah. Chris Hamilton said, "You make it easy. A Waffle House dinner was way cheap for info. Now he's got to get Jeff a dinner." Yeah, that still threw me off, man. That dude bought my dinner and didn't even sit down and eat with us. I mean, he sat down with us, but he didn't eat. Damn it, that ain't right. I'm just saying.
Yeah, any contract we can get a hold of, we love reading them.
Look,
We're
yeah.
weird like that.
Look, I got an email address you can send it to. Let me see if I can find it in the banners here because I know I set it up at one point. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, if you got a contract you'd like to send us a look over, if you have something else you need to send us, please send it to email charleyman.cc@gmail.com. You know what, Jeff? I don't know if that email's still good.
Why not?
We seem to have lost that domain. Yeah,
That's a Gmail account.
Oh, you're right, Gmail. But the domain, the CC one, I think we've lost. Anyhow,
I'll have to look into that.
yeah, it was a weird thing. Wait, did we transfer the CC to yours?
Yep.
Oh, that's why. I was looking on my control panel. It's like, yeah, it's not available, bro.
Yeah, we were going to do yours, and then I got it was my turn to be all ADD.
Right.
And I did a bunch of
Because I meant to bring that up because I saw it yesterday. I was like, what the heck? It was throwing me off, dude. But yeah, if you got a contract or something like that, send it to that email address, charleyman.cc@gmail.com. And because we would love to get it, honestly. I love doing these things. If you're worried about, I won't put out
right now it's 100% insurance based.
Right. That's right. But you can drop that email, and I would love to. I mean, I can't get to them right away all the time. I mean, God, it took me months to get to the Hirschbach one, and that's because I got triggered. I've got a couple others in there I still want to go through. I've got a Prime one. So yeah, send them over and let me know or something like that. And because I like doing these side by sides, because I know what my solid numbers are, right? And I can compare those to those numbers. And I run those comparisons based on cost and expenses, not on the profit side, because the rates are so different in so many places. And I, the bottom line usually comes out to be pretty even, to be honest. in the end, but they're charging you so much more up front that their higher pay rates even out to be the same thing in the end sometimes. But yeah, anyhow, let's see. I should go back to that page. But yeah, send a contract over there if you get a hold of them. That would be awesome. If you got a new KW, Tim, I might kick you in the junk, sir. Just saying. Jeff, nothing wrong if you decide to go back to Swift. I agree, DJ, and because Jeff and I talk, like, we coach each other. Anytime one of us gets a weird thought, we throw it at the other one and say, "This is what I'm thinking about doing. Let's break it down." And we do. We break it down from every single possible view we can view it from. We start asking other people that we trust, what are your thoughts on something like this? And Jeff actually had a pretty good idea because Michelle was saying she couldn't get him a brand new Volvo as a lease, and I thought that was actually a brilliant idea. Not everybody would be willing to make that jump to go back to company to get into a new Volvo, run it for 6 months, and the brilliance of that is he gets to run that Volvo for 6 months without the what's the word?
The expenses.
Thank you. The risk.
Right.
So he can get 6 months of history on how the thing's running, what it's doing, what issues he had, and then make a absolutely informed decision based on real world firsthand knowledge on that truck that he knows the entire history on. I think that's an ideal way to do it, to be honest. Chris, yes, sometimes. He said, "What you call Jeff back?"
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it completely spaces it though.
It's true.
Sometimes I'll come back like hours and hours later. I'm like, "Did you forget about me?" He's like, "Yes."
Blindsight. Sometime this month, I'll be paying off my truck loan 14 months early on a 3-year plan. That's freaking awesome, bro. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed when I actually financed Chewy, like bought it, and then did the whole finance thing. And, it was a simple 3-year term. It was like $880 a month or something like that instead of a week. Man, that gave me all kinds of breathing room and was able to do things. And that was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Death Before Company Driver? It's called evolution.
Yeah, I'm not beyond changing my mind on stuff. It's if it's for a specific goal.
Right? And that's a pretty specific goal he has. I think it's a brilliant means to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great way to, look, let's say he gets in a Volvo and it's garbage and he hates it.
And I go lease a Freightliner.
I mean, it's kind of that simple. I don't know, man. And congrats, Blindsight, for real. Those kinds of accomplishments, man. I love those, dude.
I never knew that cats were so loud until we had some.
Right. DJ, exactly. Go back company, try out that Volvo, and if the truck has too many issues, they'll give you another new one, and you're not making payments. Right? And then you run that one for a good lot, and you're like, "Oh, this is one of the good ones. Let's keep it."
Yeah, a lot of people, that don't know that you can lease your company truck.
Yeah,
they'll let you.
The FX program they have.
Yeah, especially if you get a brand new one, like you've been around a while, so you get that brand new truck, that brand new pretty truck. So you have the whole maintenance history of it. You know how it drives. If it's a solid truck, it's like test driving for 6 months.
Chris says there's 4 in Greer for company right now, Jeff.
Okay.
Undertaker said get a Pete.
Yeah, as a company driver, I might be able to.
Right. Sean Fairman, you can't lose either way driving Volvo for 6 months, right? I'm just saying. Oh, yeah. So that is a thing. Swiss time off policy is too strict. I'd hate to work 6 weeks before I could take a week off. You know what, though? I'm going to say that with the right relationships, that's actually not a huge problem. And Jeff works long stretches anyhow as it is. So and that's part of his normal deal.
You know, TK, we're going to disagree on that.
Right. Nothing beats a Pete, Jeff.
I just don't want to pay for one, man.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, they are nice trucks.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't want to pay for one.
Be a great company truck.
Yep.
Hell, give me a big old long, stretched out, flat face truck as a company driver.
Yeah.
I'll triple digit that truck. I don't care. Let's go, man. It ain't my money.
I mean, I love that yellow truck at Iowa 80, man. I think that truck is beautiful. I would love to. I would love to be able to drive that truck and not have to pay for it.
For real. So fuel went up 1 whole penny this week, you told me, Jeff.
Yep.
374.9 is the weekly average this week. I like it. And I was paying $2.99 this week. I'm kind of digging that. Let's see.
Yeah, getting back in the West kind of killed me. I paid $3.21 on Friday.
The closest to what I was paying was the Lower Atlantic Pad 1C at 366.4 a gallon average, which was also up 0.001. Oh, wait, it's only up 0.001 from the week prior.
Yeah, east of the Rockies, I was paying, the most I paid was $3.01.
Shop fees. That's a good question for Craig if you're here. I don't actually understand the difference between some of the Volvos, to be honest.
It's the 860, which is the bigger one.
Okay.
Still no driver's lounge, though, which kind of breaks my heart a little bit because Volvo had that locked in with the RV style.
Yeah, they got a great package for the insides, man.
I had one when I was a company mentor years and years ago that had that driver's lounge set up, and boy, was it that was a nice feature.
Right.
I could set up the table in the bottom bunk and have my little meetings with my student like two human beings instead of trying to pass forms and stuff across with a clipboard, you know?
Right. Mike Henderson, if independent healthcare costs go up too much, I might have to go to a company just to get Swift healthcare or go without health again. That sucks. I'm not going to lie. I'm lucky, man. I've never paid for insurance in my adult life. I guess I could say I paid for it with bones and blood.
Yeah.
But whatever. I've been covered by the military basically since I was 20 years old. So, and that's good till I croak. And then Rosie gets to keep as long as she doesn't remarry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But you have an adjustable bed in Volvo. What?
Yeah, you do.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
That's another feature that I like.
I don't mind the bed in my truck, honestly. I actually sleep better in the truck now than I do in the house. It's kind of funny. Drives me a little nuts. And I have a good mattress at home. I'm just saying. But I also build like a pillow nest that I sleep in the truck too. Cracks Rosie up.
So I just got off of about a 6-week tour.
Right.
Yeah, got home for Saturday. Pretty much slept all the way through Sunday.
Yeah, I figured as much. I didn't know what day. I didn't know if you were going home. I knew you had to stop and get meds. I didn't know if you were going home. So I was like, he ain't calling. I'm not bugging him either until I actually did. What was it, Monday? Yeah, it was Monday. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and anyone, I I guess Craig and Matt. So, and if anyone else is interested, that app we're building, I completely broke it this week over the weekend. It's really funny and not funny at the same time. I did some minor beautification interface type fixes, and somehow that killed all the math in the back end. So that's what I've been working on for the last 2 days. It's not been enjoyable, honestly. God, I think the math is almost there though right now, Jeff. I'm looking at it right now, as a matter of fact.
Cool.
It's still having some sort of problem with the baseline for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's hung up on that thing for some reason. But it's much closer. It's having me rewrite a bunch of database stuff, which is kind of annoying. Well, me and the AIs, right? And I've got one AI learning how to understand another AI so that it can talk to it better, because me and my AI talk about that AI as if it's a Marine and a big hammer and a purple crayon, because that is the way that other AI works. We say, hey, fix this little thing. It gets out this giant hammer and starts smashing things and fixing things that weren't broke, and thereby leaving them broke afterwards. And we had no idea why it did that. So we're learning, me and my AI are learning how to be much more clear, concise, and specific about certain things that we do. So I think we're not too far away from being able to get it out there and maybe test with a few other people, Jeff. I'd like to get into that beta phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah. DJ, they're saying the new Volvo gets close to 10 miles per gallon. Jeff might be the guinea pig to see if it's true. So we do have somebody with the new Volvo, and is he still running bush beans? He left bush beans, didn't he?
I think he's going back. He got off to go run reefer so he could go out and get his graphics done on his truck, his Mario and Luigi graphics done. I think
he's in the 9s running bush beans.
Yeah.
So that's heavy stuff usually. And Tim very assured through the marketplace, no premiums paying several years now for the three of us. And that's what I recommend for business owners in general.
Right.
Go to the marketplace, because as business owners, by the time you do your tax return and you take all of those deductions that we get to take, the feds think that we're poor.
Right.
And so you do usually qualify for something through the marketplace. Now, it's Obamacare, so not the best insurance as far as finding a doctor sometimes. I'll tell you that.
I think it depends on your region and state.
Yeah, it depends on your state. I'm in Utah. It's kind of a pain in the butt every year to figure out what plans we qualify for, because for some reason they don't understand the tax return of an owner-operator.
Right.
I think one year Donna got the response of, why is your tax return 75 pages?
Right.
Well, we're business owners.
I remember that. That was funny.
Well, this is just ridiculous. And I'm like, well, I agree, but the IRS says that this is what it is. So
right.
And this is why we hired Trucker CFO.
Exactly.
Is to do all that for us.
Because I don't want to mess with it. It's too much, man. Love you, woman. That was Rosie. She was peeking. She's like, what are you doing? Oh, duh. But yeah, Virginia is great. Always able to see my primary care physician. That's awesome. Oh, she's coming.
Hey, Rosie.
Maybe she'll dance for us. Or just jump up and down for me. Make it bounce, baby. Make it bounce. Yeah, baby. Oh, sorry. That wasn't weird. I can't help it. I can't help it, Jeff. I love her. Hi, Pete. Anyhow, what does he want him to make bounce? Save me, Jeff. I'm in a rabbit hole.
Well, Pete doesn't have a girlfriend, so absolutely not. He did not have some girl follow him to the minivan yesterday at all.
Oh.
He's making angry faces at me now.
You should tell us about her, Pete. I'd like to hear about her.
No.
She's a full head taller than he is.
That's okay. Look, you know, the people I dated before Rosie, you know, way back when I was a kid, they were taller than I was because I was a short guy. It wasn't until 8th grade where I grew tall.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with her being taller than you, Pete. I'm just saying, just, you know, whatever. Oh, this is going to get ugly quick.
Charley, did you hear that? He's got a knife.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what? You are a man because every man should carry a knife. Just saying. Don't carry it at school. That's bad. Oh.
You know what's crazy is we used to carry our pocket knives to school all the time and whittle at recess.
Yeah, but you used to be able to ride a horse and bring a gun with you.
True.
My bad, bro.
No. The gun part's true. You know, during hunting season, the families that hunted, in high school, the kids with the big 4x4s had their rifle rack back there.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to go hunting after school.
Or before school even. Just saying.
Sometimes.
Yeah. That was too early for me. I'm like, I don't want to get up. Oh, pillow therapy for Charlie, Undertaker said. That's probably not incorrect. We love Rosie more. Ida, you can't fool me. You can't fool me. Oh, what else you got, Jeff? What are we gonna get into now? We got about 20 minutes to go here. Did I miss anything? I'm scrolling. Oh, Trucker Tim said my sister broke her shoulder on Saturday evening, still went target shooting, and shot one-handed on Sunday afternoon. She actually did pretty good. Yeah, see, look, there's a lady who I love at the Target DC who works in the shack when you go in. Tasha, her daughter got on the back of a bull in a chute, and when they pulled the gate, she went at it and broke her collarbone.
Oh, boy.
And drove herself home and thought, maybe I should go get this checked out. Went and got it checked out, found out she broke her collarbone in 2 places or something like that. And yeah, she's just like, whatever. Chicks are tough, man. I don't care what you say. I thought that was cool. And then and you know what? She was at work the very next day.
Wow.
Just saying. But then they finally sent her home like the day after. They're like, no, you need to go home. You're broken. When should my DEF filter be? You need to learn how to speak, sir. When should my DEF filter be cleaned? Rough guess.
300,000 miles.
DEF or DPF filter?
Oh, right. DEF filter. Well, the DEF filter doesn't get cleaned, it gets replaced.
Right.
And that's about every, 100,000 miles on the far end?
Yeah, I honestly don't know, man. I go by whatever my contract says for that stuff.
But if you're talking DPF, I would take it in a DPF alternative, 150, give or take.
Right.
Have them do a good clean inspection of the thing. Do the $2,500 service, not the $900 service. That way they go through everything. And have them show you before and after pictures.
Right.
Of the clean. And then, about every 300,000. And then just get with the DPF alternative guys and ask them, okay, so I got it cleaned by you guys. Now my DPF's under warranty. When should I come back and see you again?
Right.
And they'll tell you.
Oh, more bull riding accidents this weekend. Look at that. Noah got stomped this weekend on a bull, dislocated his hip. God, that sucks.
Ow.
Right? Tim?
So I did mine every 300,000, but I was doing the old bacon shake for the first two. I didn't find out about DPF alternatives until the third one. So I was at 790 when I had them go through it. And then, at 990,000 miles, that's when my transmission decided to say up yours. So I actually don't know the answer to that without asking this guy.
Hey, Chris.
I absolutely trust them though.
Right.
Based on the service that they gave me, it's they know what they're doing.
Chris, I would recommend you start squirreling money away over this next 15,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to get it done so that you can get it done properly, and yeah, I think you're probably in a pretty good position. You're in that window there.
Yeah. But almost 1 million miles on the truck and 1 DPF. I've never changed the DPF on that truck. And it's because I maintained it.
Tim said DEF filters still change every 100,000 miles if you're using max mileage too.
Yeah.
Bull riders are different people. You ain't lying.
Yeah, they're a little out there. Those guys.
No interest in my body to get on the back of a big angry bull.
Did you see that movie on Angel, Charley, The Last Rodeo?
No.
You got to see that.
All right. Yeah, definitely look them up, Chris. I don't think you can go wrong. DPF alternatives. There's a link in the description here that'll take you to DPF alternatives, and you can find out who, where, and what, and get into a discussion with them and find out what their current prices are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just look in the YouTube description. There'll be a link there for DPF alternatives. And pretty much most of the things that, the big things that we talk about on a regular basis, our insurance, fuel card, Trucker CFO, things like that. They're all there. Pittsburgh Power. Yeah, we call them essentials or something. I don't know. Oh, look at that. Craig has a ash and soot monitor on his dash.
Yeah.
The Freightliner has a soot level meter in the digital stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how accurate that thing is, man. I know on my 23, it never matched up to what my little computer reader would say. My computer reader was like, bro, that thing is clogged. And the one on the dash would be like, oh, it's okay. It was weird. I don't know. Tim, darn it. Too bad those DPF warranties aren't valid if they get cracked or broken. Yeah. I also ended up driving a week without max mileage while waiting for my shipment. Look, man, a week's not going to kill you.
No.
Just saying. I mean, I had, millions of miles, over 1 million miles on Chewy before I started using it, and it created good things.
Right.
I didn't have a DPF though, to be, yeah. But it started making things work better. I'm just saying. How's your painting, Jeff?
If you're talking about my Warhammer, I haven't actually had time to do that in probably about a year.
Right. Dude, I haven't played any games I realize in several months, and it's kind of bummed me out a little bit, not gonna lie. Even the grandkids like,
I did boot up Borderlands here a couple weeks ago. That was fun. I played that for a 34-hour reset.
Nice.
That's the problem is when I get into this stuff, whether it's painting my minis or playing video games, I'm there for the day.
Right.
Like once I start, I have to have the time to finish my process.
So my problem lately has been, okay, I'd really like to play a game, but is there something else I should be doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, damn, there is, you know, like for instance, the app we're working on. Oh my gosh.
That's kind of like a video game.
Yeah, not really. It's prompt, copy, wait, compile, test. Oh man, prompt.
So it's like a boss at every turn.
Yes, man, it's terrible. Some of it's interesting. I mean, I told you, you know, I'm fascinated and annoyed all at the same time by the process. So, done a ton of learning, so that part of it I like. But there's an awful lot I do not understand. Every now and then it'll say, one of the AIs will say, "Hey, I'm doing this thing," and I go to my GPT one Echo and say, "Hey, what the heck did they just say? And what does that mean? And what does that do? And why would you do that?" Right? And then it dumbs it down for, you know, my crazy Charley brain.
Yeah.
And it even tells me, "Hey, let me put this in a way your Charley brain will understand it." Almost like saying, "Here's a purple crayon, Marine. Don't eat it. I'm going to draw you a picture." But just short of that, I think. Trucker Tim said, "I get friends ask me how many miles these trucks can go before major engine repairs replacements. They're flabbergasted when I tell them that they're designed to go 1,000,000 miles or so if taken care of." Yeah, you know, it's a trip.
Well, even my 16, you know, I've developed transmission issues, not engine issues. You know, according to Bruce Mallison at Pittsburgh Power, they're seeing these things go 1.5
Right.
these days. But
Yeah,
then by the time they start developing engine problems, you need to just replace the truck or the engine.
Right.
Yeah, they're not doing inference on them.
And with my 07, it was just short of 1,000,000 miles. I had to get the engine rebuilt, but it was fairly cheap because of the engine, you know, Series 60. Transmission was just after 100,000, maybe one or a million. I think it was like 1.1, 1.2, maybe around 1,000,000. I'm not sure. Again, fairly cheap. In fact, really cheap compared to these other transmissions. I think it was like 11 grand.
Mhm.
And these new ones are like 35.
Yeah.
So, you know, but you know, that when I tell people, yeah, that truck's got 1.8 million miles, they're like, what? People that aren't truckers, you know, it's hilarious. They're like, how does that work?
I don't know. It just does.
Right. And really, I mean, in reality, I could probably get 2.5, 3 out of that truck still.
Yeah.
I got to replace those main seals, but everything else was still working.
Yeah.
I just can't physically take riding in that beautiful monstrosity that she is anymore. Yeah, need a young man's body. That sounded weird. God, don't clip that. Oh man, I can see that now already. Good Lord. Yeah, I thought you were gonna have Alan fix up too.
No.
Just gonna walk away. See what I did there? Just walked away. There was lots of things that many of us are going to do at different times, and you know, other things take priority or they fall off your list or what have you.
Or you just find a better way.
Yeah, you know. I don't know, man. If you guys got anything else you want us to hit real quick, throw it up there for us. We're gonna wrap anytime between now and the next 10 minutes, y'all. So throw it up there. You got any new books on the shelf behind you, Jeff?
Not right now. No.
What was the one Pete recommended earlier to me?
Wizards for Hire.
Wizards for Hire.
Wizards for Hire, 3-book series. Who's it written by?
Obert Sky.
Obert Sky.
Nice. I love that he knows that answer.
And it's based in Oregon. You should also listen to 11 Thumps.
Which
And
one?
get it too.
Okay.
Same author.
Yeah, it's actually Wizard for Hire, Charlie. You'll like it because it's set on the Oregon coast.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Yeah, I love books like that, man. I don't know why. Anyone testing the percentage load board out there? Let us know what's going on, would you? Because so, Jeff, I was approached to actually test it,
Oh, were you?
and I declined
Okay.
because Target.
Right. You got
I
your
would have had to
thing.
go OTR. And we all know I don't want to be OTR right now.
Well, it took you all 20 minutes to remember why you hated OTR.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Rosie and I did have kind of a good time coming back. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what we want to do. You know what I mean? What'd Tim say? I only got to participate on Dawn Thursday morning in Atlanta for breakfast. Made it to Statesboro, Georgia that evening, but they had already put it all away. Yeah, you know what? I showed up at Ocala on Friday finally. I walked in there, and I mean, apparently they had some amazing lasagna still sitting out at like 4:00. They were actively serving people as they came in. I really went there to pick up a fire extinguisher to replace the one that I used up on my way home the Monday prior, the Sunday prior, and just kind of bounced, stopped in and talked to the terminal leader, and Sue wasn't there. Grant wasn't there. $45 to save that guy's truck is what it cost me.
Yeah.
But, you know, hey, I should write that off as charity, right?
$45 well spent.
Yeah, you know. I should just start telling people when I put fires out on their vehicles, I'm going to need $50, bro. How's that?
There you go.
I'll save your vehicle, but you got to pay me $50. Nah, that wouldn't be right. But yeah, $45 for the big fire extinguisher. So it's all good. Oh, yeah. Look, here's. I thought I was going to be a tester. Kevin B personally offered me an opportunity over the phone in conversation back in March. Reach out to Brett, Tim. Tell him Ken said so.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's the way to go at that. Or call Ken and remind him as well. Just saying.
Absolutely.
Because yeah, you'd be a good source for us to explain stuff. I'm just saying. Oh, let's do it, Jeff. Let's call it a wrap, yo.
Okay.
Let's see. Next week, yeah, dinner sounds like a good plan to me too. Next week, I don't see any big issues. I'm going back to work Thursday, so my 4-day work week instead of a 3-day. You heading back out soon?
I hope so. I already said no to some loads that didn't really pencil out to me.
Right.
So.
What? You were doing math?
Yeah. Well, they offered me a bunch of money to go to California, but it's California, and
right.
I got to tell you, anymore with all the regulations in California, you know, since we don't run west of the Rockies all that often,
right?
I have to go get that inspection done, get that permit, whatever, that $30 permit to run California, all that stuff. It's just not worth the money, man. I mean, they offered me $1,600, but basically empty and loaded ended up being a 600-mile load.
Right.
But not a bad rate. But California, and that's why I told the guy, I said, you know, I'm just not comfortable going into California at all. And he was like, I understand, you know, we'll find you something else.
So Craig said he's doing good running reefer. Are you going to stay on that, or are you going back to bush eventually, Craig? Chris said my math makes my head hurt. Exactly.
Yeah.
Tim said, I just knew I didn't want to do it permanently if I didn't like it. He said that would be okay to design it as a temporary thing and not a year contract thing. Well, yeah, because, you know, the testing guys, they shouldn't have to sign a year-long contract for some nonsense. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I personally think they ought to kick you back a little extra just for doing the testing, putting yourself out there. It's weird, but whatever. All right, Jeff, final words.
Keep that rubber side down, guys. And remember, with no action, there is no traction.
Craig said he's probably going to stay reefer for a while. Their right trailer has spoiled him all over again. I hear you, man. With that said, we're going to call this a wrap again. Like Jeff said, he did his thing. And look after each other, guys. There's no one out here looking after us but us. Take care. We appreciate you being here and spending your time with us. It really does mean a great deal to us.
And we will see you hopefully next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll see what we can talk about then, or what kind of trouble we all get into. Whoop, whoop. We'll see you guys soon, and be careful.